Presidential activity in November 2018. President Sisi inaugurated a World Youth Theater to be a youth forum for arts from all around the world as a part of the 2018 World Youth Forum, and stressed at the opening speech the rejection of Egypt and its people to extremism, discrimination, and racism. During his participation in the role of world leaders in building and sustaining peace session, he asserted the importance of finding terms of religious discourse that cope with the contemporary era. He also pledged to provide necessary funding for women's work and investment during his participation in the session Agenda 2063, the Africa We Want. The President participated in a dialogue session to answer the questions of some participants in the forum. He witnessed a session of the digital world as a parallel society, how it controls our real world. During his participation in the How Do We Build Future Leaders session, he called for giving youth a real chance to hold leading posts. Sisi also stressed in his speech at the inauguration of Reviving Humanity Memorial the need to work to restore the human values of building and development and abandon destruction. President Sisi witnessed the final session of the Model Arab-African Summit as a part of the World Youth Forum. He also participated in a bike marathon with participants of the World Youth Forum in Sharm el-Sheikh. In his address at the closing session of the World Youth Forum, he stressed the sincere efforts of Egypt's sons to build and develop, voicing out the forum's recommendations. On the sidelines of the forum, President Sisi agreed with his Palestinian counterpart Mahmoud Abbas on continuing extensive coordination and consultations to unify the Palestinians. During his meeting with the Omani Foreign Minister Yusuf bin Alawi, he stressed that he is looking forward to boosting ties with Oman. He praised the support of the United Arab Emirates to Egypt's development process during his meeting with Sheikh Hamad bin Zayed Al Nahyan. During his meeting with the Sudanese president, Sisi said that Egypt is keen to coordinate stances with Sudan, believing in the unity of their track and destiny. During his interview with the media announcer Zuriya Lodwali, the president explained Egypt's keenness to inject the world with peace, security, and mutual love. President Sisi inspected construction works of the tunnel road of Sharm el-Sheikh. In the framework of the periodic follow-up of government officials, the President ordered Egypt's Sovereign Wealth Fund to be set up in line with the latest globally recognized standards. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Transport, the President ordered to comprehensively develop the transport system in order to enhance the capabilities of this vital sector. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Agriculture, Sisi stressed the importance of coordination between the Ministries of Irrigation and Agriculture to solve the problems of farmers. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Ministers of Local Development and Environment, he reviewed the mechanisms and main axes of the National Plan for the Development and Management of Wastes. During Sisi's meeting with the Governor of the Central Bank, they reviewed indicators of the balance of payments during the fiscal year 2017-2018. During his meeting with the Prime Minister, the Minister of Planning, and the head of the General Intelligence, Sisi overviewed the workflow in the new cities. On the external level, Sisi headed to Italy to participate in the mini-summit on Libya. The Egyptian President met with the Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte and discussed the latest developments of the Libyan file. Sisi participated in the Palermo mini-summit of leaders concerned with the Libyan issue. On the other hand, President Sisi received the Guinean Minister of National Defense and discussed bilateral relations and ways to support joint African action. President Sisi inaugurated the 14th World Conference on Biodiversity in Sharm el-Sheikh. During his speech, Sisi stressed that the Egyptian constitution laid down a crucial groundwork to preserve the natural resources of the country. President Sisi headed the military funeral of the former deputy commander of Bulaq al-Dakrur police station, martyr Sati al-Nomeni. Sisi witnessed Egypt's celebration of the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and honored Egyptian and foreign scientists. In his speech, Sisi underlined that the Islamic religion solidifies the values of tolerance, acceptance of others, and peaceful coexistence of people. During the ceremony held by the Ministry of Awqaf in commemorating the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, President Sisi honored a number of personalities who enriched the Islamic thought in Egypt and the world. During his meeting with the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sisi ordered to intensify the ministry's programs and activities which encourage youth to take part in teamwork and release creative skills. The President highlighted during his meeting with the Minister of Finance the necessity of full commitment to carrying out the economic reform program to keep up positive indicators. During his meeting with the chairman of the Administrative Control Authority, Sisi gave directives that the authority should go on exerting the needed efforts to face and address all forms of corruption in the state bodies. The President's meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Communications reviewed the work plan of the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, as well as the underway programs and projects. During his meeting with the chairman of the Arab Organization for Industrialization, the President ordered to proceed efforts to develop and modernize the organization. During his meeting with the Prime Minister, they reviewed the accomplishments of the ongoing developmental national projects. The meeting between President Sisi and the President of the Engineering Authority of the Armed Forces touched on the establishment of industrial zone for military missions in the Rawaki area. The President inspected the developments of the Suez Canal tunnels and the administrative capital. Sisi inaugurated the 22nd session of the Cairo International Telecommunication Exhibition, where he stressed in his speech that the ICT sector has become a basic element in supporting the state development plans. Sisi also ordered to effect the Egyptian Prize for applications of government services for university students with a value of 1 million Egyptian pounds. As well, Sisi honored the athletes champions, hailing their achievements. President Sisi received the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and discussed means of boosting bilateral relations.